All right, everybody. We are here with Gary, who literally created this one night sleeping, I think. Half the time I'm not sure when he's talking to me or he's talking to himself, but he's thinking about what to do and how to create this stuff. So, Gary, why don't you pop on here and just, 2 minutes, give everybody a why for and how did you come up with this idea? Where's Gary? Okay. Okay, hold on a second. Hang on a minute. Where is Gary? I probably have to find him. That would be good, eh? Okay. Well, there's two of you, Gary. I don't know which one to add, but I'll add one of you. Okay. And you should be panelists now, so you should be able to talk. Okay.
Now, can we hear me now?
Yes, sir.
All right. Now we can actually accomplish something. So,
What does that mean?
well, when I was muted, nobody could hear me.
Cool. All right, let's roll.
Okay. So, to make a long story short, where this came up with is when I kind of discovered that each calendar event, and I need to go back a lot farther. Patrick and I played with calendar events about 5 or 6 years ago. When we first started playing with them, and we came across a test. We our original concept was we could put as much content as probably a YouTube description, which, as most people know, is like 5,000 characters. So we were testing the limits to see how far we could do with a calendar event versus some of the other Google properties. And to this day, I remember we posted an article with 960,000 words in the calendar, and it took every word of it. And I think that was an aha moment for both of us. Now, what you're going to find today is Google changed that. So I guess us abusing it made them change the algorithm a little bit for calendars. So once I discovered that the calendar event had a share link, I knew we could stack it and I knew we could use it for our purposes. And adding events or adding attachments allowed us to add power to the actual event. So most of you probably are aware that we came up with what we call authority docs, correct? Does everybody know what an authority doc is? Or is there anybody that doesn't know what an authority doc is?
Let's see. Your camera's not on, by the way, if you were trying to put it on.
Oh, I'm getting.
Yep. A couple people says, I don't know. Please explain.
Okay.
Enlighten us. Okay.
Enlighten us.
We see your Skype account right there. There you go.
So let's take a second and run over here to my documents. And we're going to show you what an authority doc is. This is a keyword file that's anchor text. I tend to anchor text my keywords to a target. Whatever my primary target is, that's what the anchor text is going to go to. So this is one portion of our authority doc. And basically what we've done here is we used a concept that most of you are familiar with in Backlink Factory. How does Backlink Factory work? It associates your keywords to your target URL or to your website or whatever you're trying to rank. So by that guilt by association is what I factored into a keyword file into my drive. But as we go over here, and we'll go find some authority ducks. And where this concept came from was how many of you have ever used an anchor text in a website that you linked it to, say, a Wikipedia article? Give me a 1 if you've done that before, or a 2 if you've never done that.
So like you're linking your keyword to an external authority document that's not totally related to your site or by your site, but the content of that is related to what you're trying to talk about. Is that correct?
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah, lots of ones. Lots of
Lots of
T2.
ones.
T2. Sounds like a
So-
vertebrae. T2.
So my
Hey, Chris.
thinking was, if Google was rewarding one article from an external link or an anchor text from your website, what would it do with 150 or 200 of them? Okay. So let's take this one right here was done for an affiliate product. It's not properly named in a sense, because if I open it up, this is from Google Scholar. And notice the citations that come with it. Everybody's familiar with the value of a citation, right? So
Absolutely.
this is why we call this an authority doc. We're borrowing the authority of Google themselves or Google Scholar. Google determined there's 4 or 5 sites that Google determined is an authority on virtually any subject. Would we all agree that YouTube, Scholar, Wikipedia, Google Search, those Google considers an authority on any subject that you search for? Are we all in agreement that that's true?
Everybody agrees. Yes, 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 yes. I can't say
So-
200 of them, but yeah.
So
Awesome.
if that's the case, we're borrowing the authority in the same fashion we use a G site and we attach different Google properties. We inherit the authority. That's a basic principle. Okay? So by attaching these to a Google event in your calendar, we're inheriting or borrowing an authority and pushing it towards a target. That's the foundation of what we're about to do today.
Everybody's got it.
Oh man, we're just going to move right on then, right, guys?
Yep.
Now, I'm going to mention a couple other things. We can use a slider. We can use docs. We can use sheets. We can use virtually any of the Google properties we can attach. We can even attach a G site. So if you have a related G site, I can actually attach it right into a calendar event. Everybody grab that?
Yep. Like Chris is saying, it's G sites, Google Cloud, the list.
It's an endless list of what you can do. If it's on your drive, you can attach it. Okay? So I'm going to pull up the software here. Now, there's one step I needed to do, so I'm going to have to back up. But we're going to cover what has to be done. We have a bunch of accounts. We're going to give it a name. We're going to locate it. USA, event location, USA. These could differ. We're going to give a single title in this case. You could do multiple. This is a very flexible software. We can do single targets or multiple targets. I set this up today with a couple videos as well as a target. So I'm using multiple targets. I'm going to give a calendar description. Now, I'm going to go real slow over the next section because we can run Monday to Friday or we can run daily.
But what do you mean run? You got to remember, half the people here probably have no
Okay.
clue what you're talking about.
When this software creates our calendar events,
Your Google Calendar, remember, this is Google Calendar.
right? It's going to create our events either daily, which is Monday through Sunday, or it's going to go Monday through Friday.
And it's
Okay.
also going to go and create your calendar event how many times per day?
I have this set at 48 events
So is that every 15 minutes?
every 15 minutes.
Everybody get that? I mean, think about this for a moment, because this is extremely important in terms of how this works, right? So, you know, everybody give me a 7 if this like fries your brain, but every 15 minutes, what Gary's saying is a new calendar pops up. Okay, because it's a brand new calendar, because it pops up on that every 15-minute mark. Make sense to everybody?
It fires.
It fires up
It fires that event.
every
And
15 minutes.
Google will read this
No,
as a brand new happening event. It can't read the future because it hadn't happened. It's not going to read the past
because it's over,
it's over.
right?
So every 15 minutes is like a brand new experience that Google will read and score.
Everybody's starstruck, amazing, unbelievable. Really? You can do that?
It's the only Google property that I'm aware of that content is fresh and relevant every time it fires, no matter if it's continuous of the same content or not. It's
Wait a minute,
still
I gotta stop you. I gotta stop you. Everybody read what Chris just put in the chat. I'll read it to you. I still have my original quad stack running. That site ranks for every capital letter epoxy keyword under the sun. And that's directly from Chris Lebate in here that uses stacks. So if you think this shit doesn't work, I didn't ask for that, but it works. Thanks, Chris. That's awesome, buddy. Congratulations.
so the next step that I want to do is I want to make it auto colors. Why would I do that?
I don't know. Why would you?
Because it separates the events. If I edit something, I can see what I've edited. If it's all the same color, it'll blend together and I'll forget what I edited, what I haven't edited. So let's talk about that real quick. The purpose of that. Let's say you're doing this for a client. Maybe you have a local client and they quit paying you. Okay. I can edit the event number 1 in the way I'm setting it up. Event 1, remove the target link, change the target link, and the entire stack stays intact because the only one that we're using a target in is number 1, and the rest of them are linking from the corresponding events below in a stacked order. Does that make sense? Or am I confusing you? Now, there is several ways to run the software. If I put event link, it's going to stack with links except for the first. If I do not check this, it's going to use the target links instead. So we have some flexibility right here. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, and just to clarify, Bernd is right. Okay. We can do them in any increment that we want. 48 events daily, you know, is one every 30 minutes, not every 15. If you do one every 15, you know, it's twice the 96 events a day.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Now, we can
Thank you,
run
Ben.
these and change the depth by unchecking this. I can set the time. I can set the depth. I can add to a stack. I can load a stack if I've saved it. Okay. If I do events, then only the first event is going to have my target each day. The rest is going to stack the power and send the power towards the target in a 48 deep stack. And we're going to show you this in just a little bit of time. So before we can move on, we're going to have to go grab us some keywords. See, we have anchor keywords. Now, what does anchor keywords have to do with the software here and creating your event? Anybody have an idea?
Say nobody's talking to you. What do you
All
want
right,
to,
let's show you in action.
you stumped them. Nobody
I
answered.
stumped them. I don't want to do that.
Let's see, we got making relevancy, name the event,
Now, everything we do
co-occurrence.
has a purpose and a reason. So,
Yeah, everybody read the answers that people are putting in because they're actually all pretty accurate. There's no one exact reason, but everybody that's answering the question has pretty much got a piece of the puzzle.
okay. So
Exactly, Ben.
I'm gonna take, now I could use spin text here, I'm not going to. I don't see the purpose of it for my purpose right at the moment. Now, if you look, I've got 100 keywords in here,
All right.
okay? Actually, I want to delete that and bring them all together. So we have all our keywords, all related to our calendar name, our target. So what we're going to do here next is I've already made some attachments up, so we didn't have to worry. This is the longest time it's going to take on anything I do in the software. Has anybody seen anything that takes a lot of time yet? If you think this is slow or
Not
something,
yet.
let me know.
What'd you hit the button for?
I'm going to add my attachments from my drive.
Ah,
Realize what account I was in. You got to make sure you're in the right account that you made the documents in.
so be in the
Okay.
same, be in the same Gmail account, same
Same
logon,
Gmail.
same drive and everything.
Okay. I have 8 or 9 accounts in here.
No, we can't enlarge the screen. It's because the software and the way that it's designed.
I might be able to bring it up.
Well, I guess you can do that a little bit, but it gets blurry. But anyway, there you go.
All right. I'm going to take and add. Let's see. Oh, here we go. I gotta do this one at a time right now, I guess. So if they're all together in one row, I can hit shift and I can grab 5 or 6 of them, 7 of them at a time.
Location doesn't matter, John. Later, hey, Chris, later on when we get there, if you're willing to share your document with everybody, that was pretty freaking amazing, dude.
Okay.
Terry, you build these too, right? Can we use TRS coins for this? Well, I Sue, for you, yes.
All right, guys, can you see what I just did right here? I put a ton of attachments, right? I can put more if I want. What is the purpose of my attachments? Why are we adding all this stuff? Remember what we said, we're borrowing authority. We're making our keywords related to our target. So Google associates these keywords with our target URL. Okay? Does that make sense for everybody? Let me know if that doesn't make sense.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now the final step before we actually do anything is I like to use AI for my content to get a decent content.
Okay, now stop right there. Okay, and the reason that I want to stop is because I'm going to imagine, is there anybody in here right now that doesn't have connection to some AI? I'm probably not going to get any answers, right? So you can certainly do what Gary's doing externally and bring stuff and bring all your content and everything else back into here. Okay. We have an add-on for this where we have our own internal built-in AI from Chris, and he's built it so that it works very seamlessly with all the things that Gary is sharing with you, and brings back the images, brings back the content, brings back everything, the documents and so forth, that Gary has shared with you within the software. It's all made together, right? And so I just wanted to let you know that, because you might say, well, I don't need AI because I have AI, or I don't have AI. I want you to know that it's built in, very, very, very specific to this software, right? So I'm not going to say if you have this that you're going to go out and compare it to ChatGPT or 4 or any one of the other ones that are out there. But man, if you want to build this shit, that's why we built it internally, because it works directly within how this process is created with all Backlink Factory programs. That makes sense, everybody? Give me a 5 if that makes sense. Just so I know you understand, because I don't want you to go down the wrong path on this one, okay? Awesome, awesome. Cool, 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 cool. All right. Thank you, guys. Very good. So sorry to interrupt you, Gary, but I want to make that point so everybody's clear.
Now, I don't normally do some of this. I'm going to show you what it will do. So I'm going to grab lifting straps. Over here is the same as my title. Okay, now choose a task. See, we could do anchor keywords, titles, descriptions, or article, all based off this AI. So I can do almost everything I need to do using the AI if I want to. In this case, I'm just doing the article. So I'm going to ask it to write. And you can't see it because of my screen, but at the bottom of my screen, there's a bar scrolling that tells me it's running. On the bottom left,
yeah, we see it. We see it.
Oh, I can't see it. You guys can see it.
We zoomed mine, but
And-
look at how fast that was, guys.
Everybody see how quick this is? Now, let me discuss one of the things we set up in the software and why we set it up the way we did. And I want to look it over. Sometimes I take this number stuff off and edit that. I'm going to look it over and make sure it's what I want. But the way the software does, because sometimes if you get too much content, it'll cut off at the bottom. So we put our links at the top, at the head, when it creates the events. That way, what we have works no matter what happens. Okay, is that everybody clear on that?
Mm-hmm.
So we're all ready. I'm gonna double check everything. Make sure that I've got the right account, name, location, everything is filled out the way it's supposed to be. This is very simple software and it's almost impossible to screw up. We can take our titles, add them to anchors, particularly if you have multiple titles. The software is very flexible. Okay. So I think we're ready to go. We have our event link, auto colors. We're set for daily. Okay, is everybody ready to hit the go button?
Not yet.
Somebody give me a drum roll.
Well, before we do that, I mean, one of the questions is content, you know, do you have to have good content? The content that we use and that we build is very, very good. And as Terry said, you always want good content. The difference is that when you get good content and you have Google and the content is good and you're doing Google to Google stuff, it seems, and I'll never say that it would, but it seems as though your results can be better because we all know Google loves Google. So make Google love what you're doing better. Make it all the best that you can. Never short circuit anything, right? All right, they're saying flip the switch.
Guys,
On it.
before we flip the switch, look over in the HTML. Look at your H tags. You got all your proper H tags in here. Everybody see this? You have perfect footer, body, conclude. You got everything you need built into the content in its proper format. Okay. Now, for those that you really like, this is an editor. You can change this stuff around. You can add your own links in here.
Yeah.
You have the ability to do anything you want to do.
Exactly.
This is a very flexible and easy to use software. So we're going to show you how difficult it is. We're going to go.
Oh, it's a good question. What if you wanted to use German or Latin or Spanish?
Up to you.
Or are you saying that we could create all this document and all the everything else in any language we want? Is that what you're saying?
When you put this prompt up here, tell it to produce in what language you want, and that's what it's going to do.
Okay. Does it take spin text or is it necessary? I think you said you could do spin text.
You could do spin text with your URLs. You can use spin text in your keywords, your article, in your titles. Any of these will take spin text.
Right.
I limit my calendar description because I've got so much other weight that I don't have to go into super detail. And I don't know how much weight Google's given my description anyway for my calendar. Because if you go into calendars where you create them manually, you're putting in a description, and I've never had a big description in there. I've never used it much in that fashion, and I haven't seen any issues with it at all. So now we're already creating. Now, one of the things that we had to do, you'll see that we're on event number 7. We have a random pause in between events. We want this to look as humanly natural in its creation as possible. But what you're looking at with a 7x48 is I'm very good. I've been doing this a long time. If I'm really, really, really focused, I'm just under 4.5 to 5 hours creating what you would call a Dan K. Okay, a Dan K is a 7 by 38. This is a 7 by 48. Okay, you're talking about 6 hours of nonstop focused work to do what you're going to see. This is taking maybe 10 minutes to make for you, maybe 15 if you're slow. Okay. Anybody want to see the calendar being made in action?
Absolutely. That's
Let's
why they're
look-
here, buddy.
Let's look at our our calendar name is Lifting Straps for Weightlifting, right? So let's go over here and see if we can find it. Sometimes it takes a second to show up.
Something's going on with my,
Sometimes I have to refresh my calendar.
I'm trying, Terry. Hold on.
Here we are right there.
So while he's building it, Terry, do you have, you've been building these things. Do you have anything to comment on?
No, as far as when you start a calendar being built, I almost always need to refresh. But then if you click on my calendars, when you click on my calendars, it will organize them in alphabetical order. So as long as you know the name of the one you just, click to create, you can scroll down to your whatever letter of the alphabet it starts with and find it. But you can see here the content is in each of these events. Each of these blocks of color on a different day is a separate event. And these events are just, right now, they're just scheduled. They haven't happened yet. But you can see even just looking at this screen, this goes through Sunday. No, Monday.
Monday.
So when Monday comes, each of these events will then be fired. And so on. Same thing with all the days before that. And as long as Google has a calendar, these should continue to work.
And the ones that were yesterday are like history. They don't exist anymore, right?
Well, they're still in the public, but Google doesn't care about them anymore.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Right. So, that's why Gary was saying at the beginning, and and Terry's been using these for a while too, is that, it's only looking at literally the block of time in which we are in at the moment. That 15-minute schedule, it reads this. And then it's done reading it. And the next 15-minute schedule, it reads the next one. So it's in a way, Terry, it's stacking, but it's not stacking the way that we think of stacking.
Right. But, and just to clarify, because these are 30 minutes, not 15.
Yeah.
Right. This is, but you could do 15. That's the max you could do every 15. What he's showing is 30. Yes.
Actually, that's not even accurate. You can overlap.
You could.
Well, that's true. Yeah.
I've actually
It would still
overlapped.
be, I think there'll still be a half-hour events, but you can have them starting at different times.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But
Now-
at any rate, it doesn't really matter to Google how long the event is.
Right.
Hey, Patrick, what do
Yes,
you say we have a little quick contest real quick and
All
give
right.
away some coins?
I can't. Sure, you're the boss. I'm just trying to answer all the
First-
damn questions.
How many anchor texts is my article here going to contain? Closest one
Oh my
wins
God.
the coins.
I couldn't. I don't even know the answer to that.
And is
How
that direct anchor text, or does that include anything in any of the attachments?
Well, just in the article itself.
Oh, okay.
We gotta make it, we don't wanna make it too difficult because the keyword file alone has 100. So we're only concerned about the article itself. Closest guess. Tie goes to the runner.
I got 328, 321, 300, 80, 25, 302, 415, 370, 98, 62, 320, 67. Tell me if I'm getting close.
I was gonna
260.
say seven.
Nobody's gonna be close. I'm gonna tell you why.
What were you gonna say, Terry?
7.
7?
That's a better guess. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 of them.
Wow. You got everybody bushwhacked on that one.
It's not
Yes,
important that there are hundreds
yes.
in here. Those 7 are straight from a live event on a Google Calendar to either your money page or buffer, wherever you've got them pointed. And then all those attachments contain all that other juice. They're not, that Google will read. But directly from the calendar is just those ones that are embedded in the article and the title at the top.
Now, we're gonna have a little fun while this is still going. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 10 attachments currently, right? Let's show
Yep.
you what we can do.
It's always dangerous when he's silent.
Just for the sake of argument, we're going to add a G site and a slider. Now, we're not going to keep them there because they're not related. See that? We attached a G site and a slider.
Inside the Google Calendar, is that what you said?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Now, if it was related to this niche, imagine the SEO value of attached G site inside of a calendar event.
That's something to think about as you're building out these authority docs, these various documents you want to attach. If you're at all organized, you put them all in one folder so you can grab them easily. And yeah, Google has a lot of properties, so you can grab a lot of stuff just within the
Yeah, you
Google
betcha.
ecosphere.
Mm-hmm. Well, somebody's saying, I mean, are you taking, a tank to a knife fight?
You're right. Guys, here's my warning to you. Pay close attention to this. Use a buffer, use a G site, unless you're dealing with Amazon, Etsy, something very powerful.
Even
Use
YouTube
a
can
G
take a lot of
site.
links. YouTube is fine.
YouTube, yes, is fine.
Yeah.
But be cautious because you're looking at so much power here. If you can move an Amazon book 26,000 spots in a day, that's a big mouthful right there. We moved, or I didn't personally do it. Dan Kay moved a national in the legal niche to page 1 in 30 days. A national that wasn't ranked. Think about that.
Now we've had all kinds of crazy rankings from dentists that are ranking, 25 miles away to Amazon books that ended up, the funny story, I'll just tell you this real quick, is that she wrote a puzzle book based on a bestseller. Okay. And she couldn't get it sold. So when she did the calendars, it started to move her relevancy of her book, up or down. I think down. Yeah, I think down is better. I can't remember on Amazon, but 50,000 spots. And because of the movement of what happened, she became not a bestseller, but she became the #1 referred book, puzzle book, to go along with the sale of the main book. So that's even better because she got all the eyes from the book that was the bestseller, and she was just an add-on for that, as opposed to trying to be a bestseller for her puzzle book. Who gives a crap? She was piggybacking on the bestseller. Does that make sense? And that's when we noticed that there's virtually no limit to what you can use this for, if you can use it for that, right?
I've got a question for everybody. Which would you rather be, the #1 video on YouTube on a niche, or in 300 related videos on other people's videos? Which one do you think?
300
all day long.
all day.
Okay.
Yeah. 300 times 300. Yeah.
You have to think a little bit outside the box in what you're doing. I think our software is finished.
Okay.
Well, Gary,
It is.
stay on
Yes.
that calendar for a second. When you started this, when you hit the create button, we saw what that calendar looked like. Now, if you can scroll up a little and see, this is just in the amount of time since Gary hit that create button. It's created all these events, and you can see there's a lot in each day. 48 would be my guess, but for an entire week. And it doesn't stop at the end of the week, but
It doesn't stop. It goes to infinity unless you stop it.
Does everybody understand what they just said? If you don't, give me a no. Just say no. What did they just say? Okay. No. Okay. So if you go to the 18th on Monday, right? And if you could scroll for a complete year to the right,
Watch.
okay, watch what he's going to do. Scroll, scroll, scroll. That calendar system that is created, as Terry's saying, has created an infinity of links until your grandson has grandchildren. Does that make sense?
so if it doesn't move your book video URL in a day, that's okay. It's going to keep working until it does, or until you shut it off, whichever comes first.
Jeremy's exactly right. See what Jeremy said. So the juice from the event only lasts a certain time, and that's why we stack them so that it's continued juice to the right and continued juice from the top down to the event of the day. And then it goes away.
Let's cover one more thing that I think is real important for everybody.
Yeah, but Terry, you're spot on with that, right? I mean,
Absolutely.
as far as the eye can see, that calendar lasts forever.
Remember our link right here? And maybe this is for a client. We can change this link, insert a new link, keep our keyword if we want it, or change it. But if it's related and you had a local that quit paying you, you could substitute this link. It shuts, guess what it does, guys? It shuts off all this juice going to the client that you had that quit paying you, except one place. Beyond editing this one link right here, the other links you have to edit is right here in this keyword, because it's anchor text to them.
Alice is my new best friend, Terry. I like that. I like the slogan. Don't let these old age fools fool you, everybody. These guys are assassins. I love it. Call me old all you want. We don't care.
No. So does everybody understand that? We edit the one link. Now, I'm going to clarify this in a minute. Okay, so if I was doing this for a local client and I lost the client, I could change this one link and that juice is gonna hit a brick wall. And whatever was pushing them is now gonna drop them like a lead anchor. If you change a keyword file in this anchor text right here. Okay. So now let's go back to the software and explain this for a minute. Remember when we said we put an event link? If I undid this, then it would put my target URLs in every event all the way down and not stack them. They're not stacked.
Mm-mm.
Then they would be, each event would shoot towards your target. Now, let me explain when and why to ever use that. If it was a YouTube video, I could get away with that all day long. Would we all agree with that?
Yep.
If it was an Amazon book, I could get away with it.
It's your website.
But my website,
Don't think
man,
so.
I wouldn't do that no matter what. Even with a buffer, I wouldn't do it. Because you're pushing that juice from your buffer straight into your website. That's just too, I think it's too much. So we want to err on the side of safety, right? So be
Mhm.
very, very careful with the event link, colors, and whatever you do up here. Okay? Now, we could save this. If we want to edit this later on and load it and redo it and change it.
Oh, we're not supposed to tell them about the easy button. Daggone it, Gary. That was an upsell.
Yeah.
Daggone it. Terry can't
Okay.
take him anywhere.
And,
I know how that is, boy.
and when you're done, you just click this reset and it empties everything out. Boom. It's all gone.
Now listen, when you're setting this up, if you're setting it up for a website,
Yes.
I would hope your website has more than one page.
Correct.
Barring
Correct.
your terms of service and privacy page, you can use all those other URLs so that this juice is powering up the entire website, not just your homepage that nobody
Yes.
cares about. They want the page that actually fixes their water heater or actually has how to get in touch with you, stuff like that. But you can put that whole list of URLs in there so that it's powering up your entire website.
Absolutely. Yeah, I tend to like two things. A lot of keywords and multiple URLs. Okay. The
Mhm.
more you anchor these keywords, whatever article it pulls up, it's going to anchor text those. What's it anchor texting to? Okay.
Wherever you send it to.
Wherever you send it. Okay. So as we anchor text this, the way I believe the software is set up, let's take a time to go look at some of this real quick. So let's go back. Since we didn't change anything.
So and look, this and Terry, I think you brought this up earlier too, right? This doesn't have to be to a website. How many of you guys out there do affiliate marketing? How many of you guys out there do launch jacking? How many of you like to build a calendar to launch jack every JVZoo or Warrior Forum product out there with your affiliate links? Okay, think of that for a little bit. You got the whole freaking calendar, on Muncheye, what's coming up. You get the links and you build them up, and then I get dizzy thinking about the possibilities of what you can do just from an affiliate perspective with this, right? And I think, Terry, you tried that a little bit as well, right?
Yes.
On the affiliate side, how'd that work out for you? Good?
Yeah. Yeah.
There you go, guys.
Yeah. You see
It's
that?
going to your target, those anchor text. Now, I tend to like I like a variation of this that I tend to like myself, and I probably should have done it for the demo,
Yep. Click back.
but I'm going to pull it up for a second.
No.
I would have taken these docs, which are my authority docs, and added them to the target for my anchor text. That's a little bonus. Okay? Why would I do that?
To power up those pages too.
Power up those pages, and it's given you're again borrowing the authority that Google has provided through Google Scholar, YouTube, search, and Wikipedia. And it carries the citations that they may have or may not have. Particularly Google Scholar carries a lot of citations. Okay? There's a lot of weight in those citations that you can get to borrow and use for your own purpose. Okay, I think we're at the point of any Q&A if you want to cover it.
Q&A.
Any
So-
last minute Q&A anyway.
Man, I'm like 453 questions behind here for a second. So how would you use this to rank a Google business profile? Okay. And I think if Brian, if you look at everything that we're sharing with you here, Terry, I think you would agree with me. There's nothing new under the sun that doesn't already exist. And all of what we're sharing with you already exists. You can do every single thing that we're sharing with you by hand, take the time, and literally, it's called what? Link building, right? So everything that you're doing here, what Terry was saying earlier, what Gary was, is that you've got these boxes, you've got this Google property, and in these boxes, you can take keywords and you can send those keywords via a link through a buffer to whatever you want to rank. Does that make sense? Terry, you'd agree with that, right?
Link building, in my opinion, is always better than link buying.
Correct. Because you have control over it. Try to throw 1,000 GSA links to your site, right? Not going to happen. Take 1,000 GSA and Money Robot links and throw them to a Google property. Okay, that'll work. But, you can't control them. And here's the beautiful part of what we're doing here. Every single thing that you input here, it's like you can turn the spigot off instantaneously. When you buy links or like what Terry was saying, you don't have control. Those things last forever. And if they do damage, what? They do damage forever, right? You can't go turn them off. The beautiful thing about Google properties and everything that we build is that you control who sees what and when. And if you don't want them to see it, you turn the flipping light switch off. Does that make sense to everybody? Try to have a client not pay you anymore and see what happens within 3 days to their ranking. And then when he comes back, the price is double. Right? I mean, Terry, you've got stories like crazy. Like, I love this story. You don't know how to get a client. So you say, look, I don't work for free, but I'll work for $1. Terry's done this. He works for $1 at the end of 30 days. He does all the stuff that we're sharing here and plus other stuff. And he goes back to the client and says, well, when I talked to you last week, you were position number 12 in the GMB. Today, you're position number 3. You want to stay there? And if he says no, you can just, right, Terry, you turn the switch off. And what happens?
You just go to number 14 and talk to them.
That's right. You just go to the one below him and do it again. Change all that juice over. Okay. So yeah, there's going to be a replay when we do that. So I do have one question, Gary, with what you're doing here. Did you not show me one time how you could take somebody's website and add and do something with it with the calendars?
Let me show somebody that real quick.
I don't want you to show them. That's giving too many things away, but now go ahead. We don't care. You know, nobody's gonna build one of these by hand anyway. That's why it's always been a done for you service, right?
Now, something that you want to catch on here. Well, all I'm grabbing out of here. Anybody notice anything with what I was doing when I was grabbing all this?
No, I was flipping too fast on the screen.
There were calendars, there's sliders in there, there's other secret things in here. And it grabs all the HTML for all of it, except the images.
So what can you do with that now?
Well,
That website. What can you do with that website for a calendar?
let's do a test. Oops, I don't want to do that. I'm gonna let's add a new event. Add a title to it.
Lee, there's a full of training as we have already, but most of it is going to be hands-on. And we go through each of these things. And there's videos too. So watch what Gary's doing here.
And while he's doing that, think about what you can do with this calendar once it's done, once you finish it, because it can be embedded.
You embed this on your website.
Now,
On your website,
take
you can put it on your
guys,
cloud. You can
take a
embed
look
it
at
in,
what we have
Wait a
here.
minute, Gary, wait a minute.
and it will continue to update any property it's on every 30 minutes.
Scary shit. So look what Gary just did, guys, on the side. You know what that is?
Entire website.
He just took your entire website and what'd he do with it? Put it in the chat. What'd he do? I mean, Terry, it's hard for us sometimes to wrap our brain around this, right?
Yeah, I mean, you can make a virtually infinite loop of links. Not just a link wheel, but a rolling link wheel that's constantly rolling, constantly updating everything in its little ecosystem there.
We even carried the phone numbers. Now we can add attachments. Now, here's where you got to change.
Public.
Now, I'm
So-
not suggesting you do this, but you could change those phone numbers if you wanted,
Sure.
or any part of this.
Any part of it.
Terry, are you trying to tell me I'm a little pregnant? Look at the links that are in there, guys, that came from the website. Those are what, category pages, different pages?
Yes.
Yeah. How did you copy all of the G site information? You mean the website information, Valerie, or G site? We just copied the code from the website and pasted it in here. But freaking nobody knows how to do that. Or why would you even do it? It's just kind of like, Terry, I'm my own grandpa, right? You got your website in a calendar linking back to your website. Kind of cool.
Yeah, next time you're on the web, play around, hit Control A while you're on a website.
See what happens. So
Another thing you could do is right click view source. And grab the HTML that way. I just think it takes longer.
So when you're building yours before software, Terry, how long did, I mean, because I mean, you know what you're doing. How long did it take you to build your calendars out
Uh,
by hand?
a lot longer than this. I mean, I've got clients that have been, or clients, yeah, calendars that have been running for clients for years.
Mm-hmm,
Not that I've touched them in years. but they're
exactly.
Running.
So here's another thing that we haven't done, but Terry, let me ask you this. How important or valuable or what benefit would there be to actually add the schema code in there as well on the left-hand side, like we're doing the website as a file?
I don't know, but I assume it could only be helpful.
Correct. Yeah. Right.
And the
We
better,
know-
better the schema is, the better.
Right. I mean, we know how important schema is just in the general, ranking and assimilation of content data. So Google and the search engines knows what you're talking about. So throw that in here too. Right. It's certainly not going to hurt you if you have your proper schema put in here. And you can,
if you don't know how to write your own schema, the Zista tool also has a schema writer in it.
it does, and it is freaking phenomenal. What's a Zista tool? For everybody that doesn't know, because most people don't know what it is here.
Yeah, it's a piece of software that a buddy of mine built, and there was a website, still is, called Topical Relevance, where you can get schema made. And Joe Priest, the guy who developed it, did a great job. Then Mohammed purchased it from him and added it into Zista and made it even better, powered it up more. But
Yep.
Zista is a tool for writing AI, for tracking your rankings, for doing keyword research, for writing schema, for creating topical site maps, just a number of tools in there.
Like Mar said, I mean, what we did, Terry, is we built a 300-page Zista site with all the whistles and bells. And within 48 hours, the whole damn thing was indexed in 2 days. Literally indexed, right? Not waiting for indexing, but indexed. Because of exactly what you're saying, the topical relevance, the schema codes, all the things that they put in there. If you guys want to get a hold of the software or whatever, you can reach out to Terry, reach out to me. He's got links to it. I've got links to it. There's no affiliate arrangement. We don't make any money
No.
by sharing this out. We actually have a Zista Skype room right now within the ranking store. And I think you're in it, Terry. And for people that have bought it and want to use it and collaborate together with it, with Moed, who's the developer, he's in there.
Yeah, he's in there and he's real responsive. He's responsive anyway. If you say, hey, I'm wondering, could you do this? Or how could I find this? And I mean, he's a good guy anyway, but he's a great developer, because he will listen to his customers and try to do, if he thinks, yeah, other people would benefit from that too. And yeah, we don't get any money for telling you about Zista, but it doesn't mean no harm at all to tell people about Zista. So, but it's just zizta.org. You can find it there.
Right. And if you want,
why he gave it a name ZIZTA, I do not know.
I don't know.
I've asked him.
But if you want, just get, like I said, give Terry or give me a call. We'll get you the link. And then if you get it, then we'll put you into the Skype room and you have a collaboration group there, as opposed to just buying it on your own. The benefit of going that way is you have a community of people, like Terry just said, that are working and together and helping you go through the processes of it. But if you go log on to the site, there on the top right hand corner, Terry, there's a link to all the videos. You just go through the videos and you will need depends. Right. So anyway, we got off track here. I'm sorry, guys, but hey, if we're going to teach you something, we might as well let you know what we're doing, right? Okay, so is this tool too powerful for a website or not? You said unless it's Amazon or YouTube. No, Oliver, it is not too powerful for a website when you properly use techniques that we teach you to use buffers to take the power away from the blast of the atomic bomb. It absorbs that, and then the buffer site then takes that power, like a G site or a YouTube video description or a Google document, anything that's Google related that can take the power, like Terry said before and Gary said, and then you have a link from that document out, one link out to your site, one link out to your sub pages, one link out to your video on your pages. That's how you tone it down, and it's like a pressure washer. Think of it like a pressure washer, right? You know, you got to take the nozzle of the pressure washer off just to get the water flow of the hose to be normal. You don't want that pressure washer streaming to your properties, because you will tear holes in it. Right? What is a buffer site? I think I just explained that. A buffer site is where you send the power that can absorb the power, and then it releases the essence of all that power into a manageable flow to the sites that you want to get ranked. Right?
Yeah, like a silo or like a tier, whatever, however you want to word it. It's a URL you send the juice to, and from that URL, there's one link sending the cumulative juice to where you actually want it to go.
Right. Exactly. All right, Gary, what else you got?
I want to cover one last thing. Notice something in here. What is all this? In fact, we can give away some coins if somebody figures this out.
Courthouse, Conrad, Jerry Leans, scales of what? They're pages, links. What do you think they are? Jump links, RSS, authority, what? Authority docs, titles, anchor text.
These
Notations.
right here, some of these came from a slider, the name of the images that were contained in the slider. See this?
That was a trick question, guys. That was unfair.
Yes,
Alt text, yes,
yes.
Chris.
And at the bottom, it picked up master URL sheet, but it didn't link it. Thank goodness. But it grabs the names of the images and of the documents that were on the front page.
Gary's making it zoom moonshine. Dallas, yes, basically correct. Right. So we're gonna have a Skype room. We're gonna teach everybody. Even the software itself is awesome as it is. You know, requires, you know, just more than sending you to a video. So we're gonna have that. So here's the problem that we have. Many of you saw the request that I had put out, because we wanted to get feedback from everybody on features and pricing. Okay. And so if there's any last questions, I'll let Gary answer them. And then in the next couple seconds after that, I'll go ahead and kind of give you what we're doing, how we're doing the links, and why you have to wait or not wait or whatever. So let's give a minute for anybody here to just ask any last questions that you have, and then we'll go into Valerie's questions about give me the damn price.
This is you did a good job both explaining and showing this software. I got an appointment. I need to get out of here, but save me a copy. But
All right.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, Tara.
yeah,
Appreciate you.
Calendars are very powerful, always have been, and I assume will be as long as Google has a calendar. So
Yeah, which is probably forever, right?
yeah.
All right, very good.
Sure.
Have a great afternoon, Terry.
Thanks.
Martin, do we have any software that creates automatic scholar links? No, but if you go to Google or scholar.google.com and you have a extension called Link Gopher, LINKGOLPHER, Link Gopher. Okay. How many have Link Gopher? How many don't have Link Gopher? Just give me a 1 if you do, a 5 if you don't. 1, 1, 1, 1. These guys have been on our webinars before, dude. Okay. So Gary, let's show them the power and how Link Gopher works really, really quick. So go to
Okay.
scholar.google.com. These are some of the things that we kind of go over into the training and other things like zip codes to go. So you can do the same thing for Wikipedia, guys. You want authority, you want links, you want everything. Elsie knows about it, Sue knows about it. You know, they've been around for quite a while. Siegfried knows about it. A couple people don't. That's awesome. Okay. So when
I
you go
want
to
to show them I want to show them a trick that you need to know about Scholar. Let's say you have a keyword such as one of the law professions, for example, accident attorney or accident lawyer.
guys, don't you just love it when we give away all the training before you buy it so you don't have, yeah, it's like Gary he just loves to do this. Keep going, bud. What do they call that? Cat's out of the bag?
Well, here's what happens. If I just use accident law as my keyword or auto accident law, I'm going to get a bunch of ads for a bunch of lawyers. How does that help me from a content standpoint
Well,
or link standpoint, right? So if I add best practices, I'm only going to get the kind of content that I want.
then click articles then, not case law.
Either one's going to pull both the same way. But we could do it that way too. It's same thing with YouTube. You're going to use the same concept with YouTube. You don't want all those ads. So to do it, you have to get articles that have value to you. So with Link Gopher, I'm going to take and extract all the links.
Boom.
I'm going to copy it. I'm going to go over to my documents,
Add a new document.
create a new document.
Watch this. Watch what's happening, guys. Watch.
I'm going to give it a title.
Best practice, whatever you called it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, other than the people who know us and we've showed this to, how many of you guys, is this new to you? Give me a 1 if it's new. Lou Hornberger, he's new here. So new. 1, 1, golden nugget, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1.
There we go. That's how long
Awesome.
it took to create a great
Citations.
you'll see the citations right down here listed, in fact, right there.
Yeah.
See that?
And that if you click on those, it digs deeper to the next level down. Okay. Google will read all that. So, but what good is that if they don't have an anchor text, Gary?
Well, what we're doing is linking to these,
Mm-hmm.
okay? And we're attaching them to our calendars, number one.
Mm-hmm.
So let's explore a little deeper.
What if you wanted to have every one of those links an anchor text to your keyword? How would you do that?
Well, you can't do it in the way you're thinking because they're already links. These are already links,
Right.
okay? But what you can do is add some links here at the bottom
Right.
to your target, whatever my target. Now, it's already linked, but it's not really linked to anything yet. So if I insert it, come down to link, And let's go now, guys, follow what I'm doing here. Everybody see what I've got down here?
Injury law number 2.
Entry law number 2. Do you think that link is related to the content on here?
Of course it is.
Okay. I just stack this doc to a slider, and the slider has other authority documents in the notes.
This is the kind of stuff we're going to go over, and just a little tidbit of how you can stack and stuff and do the calendars correctly, and the other properties that are connected into it, such as, PowerPoint, i.e. slideshow, right? And that's kind of like what Gary's sharing here, is that you take your slideshow, you do the same thing, you power it up, and it's inside your Google Calendar in that dock area for your Google Calendars. And that's another set that's pushing power out. Does that make sense to everybody? If you build it, they will come. I watched that movie, Mr. Patterson. I watched that a long time ago. All right. Real quick, 1 minute, last questions, and then I'll get over to the good part, which is kind of screwed up, but okay. POI driving direction links to a Google Sheet. How does that work? I guess is your question, right, Fitz? So if you POI's points of interest. So you want to create high relevancy to your GMB or to your website for your location pages, your neighborhood pages, which I'm sure a lot of you are building. If not, we can teach you how to do that as well. But points of interest. 2, if nobody knows points of interest. 1, don't even bother. I don't want to see 2s if you don't know what I'm talking about, POI. Okay, cool. I don't have any 2s. Brilliant. Oh, there's a 2.5. Dan, you blew my bubble. All right, so anyway, what you're doing is you're taking a map from Starbucks to your local business. Okay? And then you're taking a map from the sheriff's office to your local business. Yes, it's already in the toolkit, BF and POI. But for people who don't know what it is and how to use it, is you're creating driving directions with keyword, which is, best plumber in Dallas is your keyword. And then when you're doing that, you're creating those POIs. And then once you do that, then you put them in the calendars and you use Backlink Factory. If you have Backlink Factory to backlink them, you're just exploding the authority of those links, and it helps your GMB rank. Make sense? And read what Marja said. Do it from all your competitors to your business location, so you have driving directions to your business from your competitors.
Hey,
Don't go-
I got a quick question for the audience.
Don't go crazy
This-
with it, because
No, I'm not gonna go crazy. I
All
want
right.
to give away 100 coins some ways today.
Well, do it, baby. What is a coin?
First person that can figure a way how to use POI that you've never used before in a lesson that we've learned today. How would you use POI links in ways you've never thought of using them before that would work in a powerful way to increase what POI does?
Susan says, put it in the authority document.
Amen. There's 100 coins for you.
Wow.
Now, there's a second way.
Wow, that was
Put 'em in
awesome.
now you're close. Not in the description because it's too much content. But it can be done as what? An attachment. All right, there's our other 100 right there. We got 2 people got 100 coins. Get with me after the call on Skype, Gary.Apron, and I'll get your 100 coins listed, guys.
Okay. All right. So I am going to.
Life's not fair. Goodness, Dallas.
All right. All right. Are we pretty much done? Can I just show you what the pricing is, how we're going to do things? Because it's totally unchained, off the wall, and very, very convoluted because I'm actually doing things I don't want to do. Okay. So in the chat, right there are 3 links. Matter of fact, I'm not sure if I can pull these up myself. All right. So if you go to the monthly, there we were only going to create one program, which was the hybrid. And then people started crying that they wanted a monthly. So I've created a monthly and I've created a hybrid plan in there for people. So monthly is straight monthly. And now let me give everybody some context here who doesn't understand how ridiculously insane Gary is for making me do this. How many of you in here bought a Dan K? Just give me a 1 if you put it and bought a Dan K. How many? Okay. Let's see some. Let's see some ones coming because I know a bunch of you did. All right. So when we built by hand the Dan K, which is a 48 stack, we sold those for $269 with the coupon off of $399 when we launched this program. $269 net for one calendar that you just saw Gary show you. 48 stacks by hand. Okay? $269. And we sold a boatload of them. Now, how would you like to do that every time you want to do a stack for your customer or your client? 269, 269, 269. How many clients do you have? Blah, 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 blah. Okay? So when you take a look at the value and the pricing that I put together for the hybrid and the monthly, you have to promise me you're not going to laugh at us for being stupid. All right. We want you guys to have this blessing. We want you to be able to do this yourself. And keep in mind when you're looking at it, one of these is $269 and you have, how many can you build, Valerie? How many? If you buy the hybrid or the monthly, how many of these can you build? Anybody? Take a guess. Unlimited. And this is going away. Okay. So you can build unlimited of everything that we shared here with you today with this ridiculously cheap once in an offer type deal, because we are not going to continue this, but we wanted to bless everybody that bought stacks. And quite frankly, how many of you guys showing what we've done, how many of you think that we are actually retarded, insane, and stupid for actually selling this to you instead of keeping it to ourselves? Give me a 5 if you think we should not sell this. All right. So there's 143 people on here today. And if 143 of you do not buy this, then we're not the retarded ones. Okay. This is ridiculous. A hybrid. So a lot of people don't want to pay a lifetime. And by the way, I'll get to that in a second. A lot of people want to save a little bit of money on their monthly. So we have what is known as a hybrid. You pay a little bit of money up front, and then you pay a lesser amount every month for the lifetime of the software than if you were to just buy the monthly. So it works out for you better to have a hybrid, and it works out better for us because we have upfront money a little bit to continue to develop and make this software better. Because the biggest problem is, you know, as people begin to use this and monthlies drop off, and they always do a little bit, you know, the income that we generate is less to keep it up and running. Now there's three things on there, and then I'm going to share one other thing which I don't have here today. I don't think I have it on here. Okay, so there's also a link on there for the lifetime. Okay, yeah, you can switch to the annual. I mean, we can all look. we do everything. Okay. The coupon code's right in the chat. It should be right there with what I gave you. I'll have to double check it and see. But the hybrid, the coupon code is hybrid, and the monthly coupon code is, let me pull it up and tell you. Okay. On the monthly plan, the coupon code is, go figure, capital M for monthly. The hybrid is capital HYBRID. And I tested these out earlier and they work fine. Okay. I'll put them in the chat again. Now, we have at max 10 lifetimes. Okay, 10. We're not going to give you a price for the lifetime. I don't mean lifetime. I meant the unlimited and the lifetime LTD on it. And the reason that we're not going to give you a price for it today is because you have to qualify, and anybody can qualify. It's not a matter of who you are, what you are, right? But if you want to have the lifetime, you have to give us a call, book, call us, give us a call. We have to have a conversation. And, the one thing that we don't want people to do is to resell this. It's for you, it's personal use, it's for you, it's for your customers, it's for your clients, and if you understand that, you'll keep the purity of the product. If everybody starts to try to sell this and they have a lifetime and they can sell all they want, blah, 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 it destroys it for everybody. Would you guys agree? Give me a 5 if you agree. Okay. Cool. So you can make the product and you can resell. Well, you can't really actually resell it, but you can make the product for your customers and for your clients. And that's the way that we want to keep it, because if you go out and try to resell this stuff, what happens is you're going to try to sell as many as you can. You're going to undercut us. You're not going to give the training. You're going to delete the value of the product, and I'm going to get freaking pissed. And then you're going to find out that your links don't work anymore. Okay. It says it can, but the only reason it says it can is because I didn't have enough time to fix everything today. Okay. Make sense? So fill the form out. And I said, we have 10 copies set aside. If we get more than that, just fill it out. We just want to talk to everybody. And it's not one of those coaching calls where they upsell you and all this shit. No, but I can guarantee you it ain't cheap, because you think about it, right? You can make unlimited. You can make it for as long as you own the software, and it's not going to be 50, 60, 70, 100, 200 bucks a month. Okay. So bear that in mind, but we'll work with everybody, because there's always that danger that somebody's going to F it up for everybody else. And I want to keep this for everybody. You okay with that? Coupon codes are right there, John. They're right in the chat. I'll paste them again. Hold on. They keep scrolling up. That's the problem. Let's see. The coupon code for monthly is monthly. The coupon code for hybrid is hybrid. Okay. So just out of, as we level out of here, this is amazing. We have 133 people still here of the 145 people that began with us. So I think we did a good job, right? You guys agree? Give us whatever number you want in the chat if you think we did a good job. And I'm going to stay here, and Gary and I will answer questions for anybody. Thank you guys. I really appreciate it. So does Gary. So is who's buying today? Just let me know. Just put a 1 in the chat if you're picking one of the two up. Okay. One, 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 one. It's like a Gatling gun. Awesome. All right, keep going. Could be, James. Don't be a could be, dude. This thing is only going to last for 3 or 5 days, and I'm shutting this bitch down. Ain't nobody going to buy nothing after 3 to 5 days from now. Trust me. Okay. And I think you guys can see why. All right. Somebody wants to adopt you, Gary.
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah, we're gonna run a replay for the next couple of days because I know people, came in and out. Okay, but seriously, the lifetime is for you bigger guys that have lots of clients or want to, I'll even go so far as if you have an agency and you have other people, like in your crew, we can discuss a second license for your team. Okay. Now I want you to understand that the hybrid, that if you pick the hybrid, we just did this afternoon, the license will not work. Okay. Because we were forced to create this today. So between now and the next couple of days, we're going to build the licensing system for the hybrid because as of noon today, it did not work. None of them have 2 users. They're only single user licenses, Mark. Okay. Does everybody understand? Anybody that bought the hybrid, understand. Don't send us a ticket and say, oh, I didn't get my license. Oh, I didn't get this. I didn't get that. We will reach out to everybody and we'll make licenses for you all within the next couple of days. Mac you can use any of our software on a Mac if you have Parallels. Most everybody that has a Mac that likes to use our software has a VPS that they use. And also remember, I did not actually put it in here, but I'll send an email out to everybody else. If you want our AI, I'll send out a special email to everybody on the list and you can pick up our AI. It's cheap. It's $25 a month, something like that. Okay. We all good? Damn. We should have a party with, JC, there's 120 people here, man. We ought to have a party or something. Can we go to desktop to laptop? John, yes, you can. What you'd have to do is turn your current, there's a switch and we'll go over that. You turn your license off. And then when you load it up onto your laptop, you can then reactivate the license that you have on that unit. Make sense? Valerie, can we use coins? If you have coins, you need to send an email to Gary and me, and we will take your coins. We'll subtract them from the price of the program that you want. We'll just create a lot of work for ourselves, but we'll create the new link for you based on coins. And if somebody's asking, what the hell are TRS coins? Over the course of the year, when we have these things, we give away coins. A coin is worth $1.50. So if you have 100 coins, you can turn your coins in for any new purchase of any of our products. And in this case, if you had 100, it'd be worth $150. So that's what Chris says. I'm rich. Oh shit. How many you got, Chris? I may change my mind here real quick. Oh, you can only use 5 at a time. How's that?
Hey, Patrick.
Yeah.
Somebody wants us to discuss the AI. Real quick.
Go ahead. I mean, you've got it loaded up. Show them what it is.
All righty. I wasn't planning on this part. Okay.
There were 2 people that you gave coins away to. Who were they? One you told to call you, and who was the other one?
I'll have to go back and look. I posted it in the room for them.
Wait a minute. I want to answer this question. Does it still work on Google Sites? Because that would be awesome. I don't know what you mean.
Yes.
Well, wait a minute. I want to make sure that they're not referring to the old Google Biz site that doesn't exist anymore. But if you're talking about regular new Google sites, yes. Right? Reach out to me on the POI and BLF, Dan, and we'll get you hooked up with a good discount code on that for you. Okay.
Van Man and somebody else won the 100 coins.
Diane H.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, Diane. All right, so reach out to, I'll type the address in here, support at therankingstore.com. And then reference Gary. And if you got anybody that has questions, you can use the same thing if I typed it correctly. Support at therankingstore.com. And yes. What's the difference? Okay. It's pennies. It works out differently on a Dallas on a pennies situation. I had to put that thing together real quick. So whichever one works out best for you, take advantage of everybody pushing me to do something because I'm going to change it tomorrow.
All right, somebody give me a keyword.
All right.
This is one of my favorite parts of the tool.
See you,
As well as
Diane.
content.
All right, Diane, thank you. Appreciate it. Any keyword, first keyword in the box right now. What is it? Chimney sweep. Jamie. Chimney sweep.
Okay. This is the keyword tool. And I basically want 100 keywords. I want short tail. I could make it long tail. I can make it LSI. Let's make it long tail. I think it's more value to you. And so I'm going to click generate. This is generally pretty fast, but sometimes you have to click it a few times because it'll come back with, well, we don't really have access to Google's algorithm, so this is a swag system guess. But it'll still generate the top 100 based on what it believes that to be, based on a built-in prompt. There we go. Every once in a while, it'll come back with a list that basically will put numbers or letters in front of it, and we have to clean that up. So all you would do is cut and paste this, put it in the doc. Everybody's seen how we made a keyword doc, and then we would link these. I'm not going to do that for sake of time argument. So we can come over here and do schema. We add our website. We have website tools, analysis. We can use topical cluster, SEO article, and so on. Now, what you guys are familiar with, this is a standalone version, which also does all your article wizard, article writer, prompt tools, review, run prompts. So it's all of this is built into the standalone, which are built into some of the softwares that we have, such as G-Sites, and the calendar, and a couple of the other tools that we have. And basically all of the tools are incorporating this particular software that you're seeing, but it does it behind the scenes where you can't see it going. So if I were to bring up, say, calendar, and I'm running AI, it's pulling off your AI license from this software right here. It reads that you have this software and initiates what needs to be done. Does that make sense for everybody?
Mm-hmm. So I didn't add a couple questions here, Gary. You don't have a buy button for the AI factory? 'Cause I have to.
I can go grab one.
Okay. Lou.
Patrick,
Yeah, bud. I hear you.
you called my name, so I answered you.
Okay. So at this juncture, I just wanted to, for everybody that's here, is there anybody here who doesn't have a factory product of any kind? Anybody, give me a 2 if you don't have anything that we own. Anybody? There's got to be some people in here that are here for the first time. So Lincoln, nice to have you here. All right, David, John, nice, cool. I think I have Ranking Factory for years, training but no software. Dan V, okay. Amy, yeah, you've had it for a long time, sweetie. Steve, okay, you do now, very cool. Okay, so one of the things that we are doing, since most everybody is using our software, been to our webinars, seen how we do things. Lou, I want, if you would turn your camera on. I've invited Lou to be here with us and watch us go through how we do things, because as you guys know, you won't ever find a webinar done the way that we do a webinar. If you ever bought anything on Warrior Forum or JVZoo, or even other webinars by people with their software, we're just good old boys. We don't give a shit. We're just going to tell you the way it is and have fun doing it, right? But Lou has been giving webinars and hosting webinars for quite some time now. And we have entertained, and yes, no bait and switch. You get what you see, right, Mark? So we've entered into an agreement with Lou to, unless it's an emergency now, work with us. Okay. So give everybody a little history and background of yourself. And so as we do more of these webinars, you may not see Gary, you may not see us. Yeah, he's youngster. He's still got, diapers wet behind the ears, but we'll train him. We'll train him. So give everybody a little shout out. Link for what, David? About yourself and a little bit of your history, because I want to introduce you to. There's 100 people here.
Well, howdy, folks.
Which,
Glad to connect. You guys hear me, Patrick?
yeah.
All right. So I am, gosh, I'm a Philly boy. I even got my Eagles gear on today. So if I offended you, I apologize, Patrick.
It's okay. I'm just up the street.
Yeah, I know. That's right. And I am been in the online marketing industry since, gosh, probably 2018, 2019. I started messing around there with affiliate marketing, got in with the bad crowd over there on Warrior Plus, and eventually a guy by the name of Neil Napier hired me away from that. So the last 3 years I was working for Neil, managing all of his launches, and moving forward into webinars about halfway through that time. And so for about 18 months, I was doing all of Neil's sales webinars and back-end webinars and webinar swaps, all kinds of stuff like that. So I've got a lot of webinar experience. And as of the new year, we decided to part ways. I went out on my own now, and looking for folks to work with. And I had met Patrick actually through Neil. And it was, we seemed to hit it off. And every time we've met online, it's been good. And we said, hey, let's give it a try. So that's kind of where we are. I'm married to my first wife.
When you say
And,
Neil, you're talking about Neil
Napier. Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, been married to my first wife for 32 years now. We got 3 kids. The last one's on his way out the door.
32.
He's graduating this year. Well, yes. Well, it's my record. I've never been married that long before. So we're hoping to hit 33s. Be our best ever.
What?
So we have I love on the online world. I love all the stuff that we do, and coming into Patrick's stuff here, Patrick and Gary, we have even more stuff here that I've never seen before. So it's exciting to be here and meeting all of you folks. I know that you guys take it seriously. That this isn't, you're not in here for the monthly sale. You're here to really grow your business and to help your clients grow as well. Which is something I kind of missed in the Warrior Plus JVZoo world, where that was always like, what have you done lately? What have you done lately? And so it's a refreshing, it's a lot more relaxing to be able to be a part of working with the Ranking Store. So I look forward to meeting all of you and hanging out on webinars and trainings and office hours and that kind of stuff going forward. You're muted, Patrick.
life goes on in our world, right, Lou?
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, so anyway, that's the link to now. The other part of that is that link that Gary gave you for the AI, if you don't have it, it works for all of our products that we have our AI in. That will work in every single one of them. Okay, so it's not just for this. That AI that you get, that link, the license that you get, you plug it into Backlink Factory, plug it into the new stuff that we're building, and it will work for everything. Okay, everybody got that? Cool, very cool. All right. Okay, what else can we do? Anybody want another nugget on something? A local nugget? What you got, Gary? Got anything else?
Brain swelled.
All right, all right. Let me ask everybody here, because I know somebody have seen this before. For those that you haven't, we'll just kind of give it away. How many of you in here have not seen a linking strategy with zip codes to go in the United States? Give me a no if you have not, and a yes if you have. I want to see if local GMB, yes, no, yes, no. Yes. Okay. For the guys that are yes, would you like me to go over it again? If I can? All right, cool. How do I do this? Screen share.
I need to stop.
Yeah, okay. Randy says knock yourself out. I love you too, bud. Let's see here.
Hey, for those of you who don't know, this is one of the most powerful things you ever get your hands on.
Let's see, what do I want to look at?
Brian Wayne says, just got back from the dentist. Can we start over?
Oh yeah, absolutely. No worries. No worries. Let's see. I don't even know. I can't even start a new one, so we'll just go here. I'm looking to buy another product. Go over here. Hey, how many of you guys are in AI? Take a look at this puppy. I have no idea what this thing costs, but I'm playing with it. Air.ai. Okay. I'm playing with this right now. This is replacing all of your appointment setters. Trust me. You got to listen to this. And I have no idea how much it costs. I haven't got the call yet. But this is where we are moving to. And so it's www.air.ai, right? When you get a chance, listen to what this thing will do. It will flat out destroy you. All right. All right, let me get to a new window. Let's go to zipcodestogo.com. So most of you do or don't know this. And this is only good in the United States. If you're in a different country, try to find something, that's kind of relevant to this. So when I go here, somebody give me a zip code in a second. But when we talk about local, and we always are trying to get a local radius, and we want more depth to our GMB. We want to creep out from our parking lot, right? It's easy to rank in our parking lot. So this is one way of using calendars and points of interest and Backlink Factory to make that happen. So if we do, come on.
Patrick, we're only seeing the eLearn screen right now.
Why?
I'm going to guess it's a user problem.
Stop it. You had too many resources to your device, so Chrome removed it. Dang. How about now?
You've angered Google. eLearn Empire from JVZoo.
Son of a butter. Oh, all right. So share your screen, Lou, and I'll tell you what to do. We'll do a little training. If anybody wants to see it, I'll stop sharing.
Where am I going?
Just go to zipcodes2go.com.
Guys up here, put you over here. My screen. Okay, zip code.
Zipcodes2go.com.
Should not be one of your hacker sites again.
Nah. The hybrid is $49 up front and $48. No, that doesn't look right. I think they're backwards. Whoever's doing the monthly and the hybrid. The hybrid is the top. The monthly should be the bottom. I'll have to. No, I checked them. They all were good. $72 a month and $9.14 a year. So it's a one. You got to remember on the hybrid, it's a one-time payment up front, and then the monthly starts in 30 days. Okay. All right. Now on the bottom right, go to the right and go down to zip radius. Scroll down. And on the,
Zip radius search.
yeah, do that one right there.
Hacker.
So click on that.
Mhm.
You can get X off of that. Okay. So put your zip code in there. I'm just going to put Philly zip code. Your zip
Oh,
code.
I was gonna go early 90s.
What?
Anybody get the reference?
No.
Everybody else does.
That's California, ain't
All right. Now in
Beverly
Beverly
distance,
Hills
90210.
90210.
okay.
it?
In the distance, type in 1 mile.
Search.
No, in the distance, 1 mile, then
Hey.
search.
I typed
Search.
1. That's
Okay,
that mile.
Now hit search. Okay, so scroll down.
Did
I want everybody to see this. So what we're doing is we're going to create a circle radius around your GPV. All right. So within 1 mile of 90210, it's all Beverly Hills. But when you click on the 90210, click on it. I want to show everybody what it is. These are hot links, right? So when you click on that 90210, it's going to bring up, look at the data around that link. So think about this for a second. When you are hot linking to that link with your keyword relevant to the content that's inside of this site, what do you think your relevancy is, guys? You see it? You guys getting the picture? So your keyword is linked to this. Yes, I certainly can, right? Okay, so now go back up to the mileage. Scroll back up to where you put you got to go back one. Hit back to where you put the mileage in.
how far do you want to go this time?
Okay, let's go 3 miles. Let's see if we got anything else. So type in 3 miles.
Yep. So we get
Did you get
West
any more
Hollywood.
Oh, look at
LA.
Okay. Now we have all of these zip codes, all of these areas within a 3-mile radius of your parking lot. All right. Now remember, when you click on any of these, and you can just click on the zip code, it's going to take you to the page. Look at the city, Beverly Hills. If you click on, it's going to take you to the page. Get rid of the PDF. All right. So I want everybody to kind of get the gist here. Content, relevancy of where you want your keyword attached to this page. Does that make sense to everybody? Right? Does it make sense? Give me a 1 if it makes sense. All right. So now go back to the page again that you were. So the way that we do this is we go back to the last page you were at, go backwards, Go back to the menu or yep, that page. Right. So here's what we do. Now, Jesus, you're going back too far, dude.
This is, you want the radius search, right?
Yep. Just go back to the page you're on when
Here
you
we
clicked
are.
on the button. All right. No. Click on the radius search, put in your zip code and put in your 3 miles again. Zip code search in the box. Put your zip code in the box. Put your 3 miles and hit search. Okay.
Oh, you want the
So
90210 again?
yeah, put that one. It's easier. Just so everybody can see it.
There we are.
Okay. Hit search. So what we end up doing, I want him to do this now, but you copy all of these to a Google Sheet. So from the distance and the miles, you just copy them all and you put them into a Google Sheet. Okay. Then you'll go open up a Google Sheet. Then you paste these into the Google Sheet. Now you take all the things that Gary was sharing you before, and you can see that these are the zip codes that are surrounding your area. And so once you do this with the POI and the driving directions, you start creating driving directions from all these exterior places to your parking lot. Does that make sense, everybody? Okay. And then you go to the next, instead of 3 miles, go to 5 miles. And now you link the 5 mile to the 3 miles, the 3 miles to your parking lot. You following? Correct, Mar. You're becoming your own citation directory, right? And so you just keep going out and out and out and out. And this is how Randy was able to rank his son's dentist office in the 3-pack 25 miles away from his parking lot. And yes, you can add the Amy, you've got it. Now you take all of these. Now, here's the thing. Remember that little link gopher tool that I told you about? And Lou, you don't have that on your screen. But if you have link gopher, okay, guess what you can do? What can you do with link gopher? You can hit one button and you grab all those links. You guys getting that? Is that cool or what? Now you have all of those links, right? That you can put inside your calendars. You can put inside an embed code. You take the embed code, put on the actual page on your site that talks about zip code 90068 and the zip code 90025. Relevancy. You understand? Okay. And then I'm gonna give you a tool here real quick, and I want you guys to see this because this is important for us to understand. So let me go to
There it is, Gary. I had link gopher.
Oh, you do?
That's all the links.
Okay, see? Now I'm gonna get you a tool. I gotta show you this tool. And then I want you to open it up. Okay, it's right here. Because it's important for us to understand not only relevancy, but it's important to show power. So click on the link that I just put in the chat for you, Lou. I know we do things so much different, than the Clivios and all the guys I work for. And I don't yell at you like everybody else does. I try to at least teach you something. All right, now copy all those links on that sheet.
The gopher sheet?
Yep. Well, the link, the one that you put, the ones that you put on the sheet, the Google sheet. There you go. Copy all them. No. Watch this, guys. Zipcodestogo.com. Yes, Chris. All right.
Oh, it says up to 10 here.
That's fine. Just copy them. It's fine. And
Okay.
paste them in there. In that
We want to
box.
exclude same domain with these checkboxes. so we keep them
No,
the same?
just leave it the same. Now check authority. I want everybody to see.
Oh yeah, you can only do 10.
Okay, that's because you didn't sign in, but 10 per query. Gary, you can address the Angus there real quick. Just do 10.
Uh,
Okay. Now watch. Boom. You look at that, guys. Look at
And then you can download it to Excel as well.
it. Can do that. You can do it, but see, these are the things. Now you've got that link, that map, your keyword going from X to your parking lot. Does that make sense? And when you begin to drop the pebble in the water, and what happens when you drop a pebble in the water? You get the ripples, the ripples, the ripples, the ripples, right? So that's what we're trying to accomplish here. And you take all of those links and you put those in calendar stacks now, right? And then you take Backlink Factory and you backlink all of these links with your keyword to your GMB reviews, right? To your GMB property, to your GMB photos that you have, to your posts in your GMB, to the events that you put into your GMB. And you link this stuff together and you bring all of that information as relevancy to your territory, right? And that's what's been helping us over the last couple of years, just crush it. And like when Randy did his, okay, he was able to get out 25 miles. All right. So these are the types of things that we're going to go over. I just wanted everybody to see, just a little spattering of some of the stuff that nobody's teaching. Nobody knows that this stuff even exists. And then when you combine Wikipedia, Google Scholar, I mean, all the other things that we share with you on how to get these links and bring them back in, stick all that shit in your Google Calendar. And, you can't say what's going to happen, but I think Chris, you had a image that you showed earlier, right? You want to throw that in so that everybody can, the link to that so everybody can see what it is. Well, and I'll get Lou to bring it up on the board here. Throw that link in there. Probably next week, Carrie. We got to get through all this and clean stuff up and get in there. And, Gary's got to create the schedule. Maybe Chris has left. He may not be here. Oh, he's there. Chris Labat. Throw your link in there. Put your link in there again. Labate. Because he throw a link, he put a link in here earlier and to share with me and just to show what the calendar has done in terms of some of the rankings for his keywords as well. So if not, you don't want to share it with everybody, I understand. It's cool. So anyway, that's my story. That's Gary and I. We just want to make sure that you guys get value and you're using this stuff. And we're now bringing Lou on to, I think, kind of keep us. What's your job? What are you going to do besides more webinars for?
Launch management.
You're going to keep us straight, right, guys? Okay. And we'll have private strategies. I mean, it's okay. We'll get on calls and answer questions, and you're not going to be left behind. Trust me. There's no way. You can ask anybody that's been in our rooms for the last 6 years. Nobody's left behind.
We actually have some new stuff planned for support.
Oh, no. Yeah, we do. But click on that link Chris just put in there and share your screen again.
I wasn't going to give anything away. I just tell them you got new stuff planned.
I don't even know about it. So
yes, you do. You told me about it.
Okay.
Share.
Thanks, KP. Okay. So that is amazing.
Sounds sticky.
Is that amazing?
And what is this from?
The 4x4 quad.
Okay.
And those keywords are all $7 PPCs. Okay. So look at those. I mean, seriously? That's pretty amazing, don't you think?
Yeah.
Chris, you got the mic, buddy.
Yeah, that has been solid. So we picked that up when we bought Backlink Factory, but I think there was a quad stack deal if, basically the first 4 people that, reached out to you. And
We built it for you, right?
continually
We
you
built
did.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, and that was back before anybody had that announcement. So they continue to climb. I see every month and I'm like, wait a minute, I didn't build any links. And I'm like, oh yeah, it's that quad stack in the background. It's still working. So I
How-
mean,
How
go
long
ahead.
has that been? How long has that been?
I couldn't even tell you. It's probably been a year and a half that it
Okay.
re-triggers, and there's about 5 a day that get re-triggered, and it's pointing to a decent G site. So it was set up correctly, the strategy is there, and it continues to rank, and those keywords, guys, I mean, $5, $7, that's all money in your pocket that you can go back to the client and say, look at your value, look at your, organic keyword value.
Right.
And raise your retainers. And, epoxy contractor, how great would it be to rank your client for epoxy contractor #1? Like basement epoxy. These are short tail keywords.
Nice. Wow. That's pretty amazing. Look at 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2. I mean, holy crap. Epoxy basement, epoxy this port. Wow, those are great keywords too.
Yeah, and it goes on. Like they rank for pretty much everything under the sun. Most of that stuff gets repinned back to #1, plus maps. There's things in that site that gets back to the maps as well. So it just continues to climb and we're happy with it. So already pulled the trigger on the hybrid in the Skype group. So
Cool.
looking forward to kind of working with the strategy.
All right.
I think the change is helpful too, because you can see what's coming up. What's looking strong and might be a little cheaper because it's not ranking first, but it's still coming on. It's on its way up. That's good.
Yeah, and you can almost tie that back to when it re-triggers. Like, there'll be some fluctuations and, don't forget that's live data and we're in the middle of the biggest, update of the year, most likely.
right.
The March rollout and, we're unaffected by that. Now, we do a lot of SEO and I do love schema. There's solid schema on this site, but having said that, I'm pretty proud of that and I appreciate what you guys do. And, you've been a big part of the success for this campaign. So I really do
Yeah.
appreciate it. And no questions asked, pulled the trigger right away.
Right. Cool. Thanks. How long have you, you said this has been running for a year now?
Yeah, so the calendar has been running for a year. The client's
Okay.
probably been a 5-year relationship.
Okay.
I'm doing a talk for the Heavy Hitters Club actually tomorrow on schema and a lot of things that you mentioned. We will be talking about tomorrow. So
Robin Marco.
that's the guys.
Yeah,
Rob.
dude.
Yeah.
Gotta love them. Hey, you know
So-
what? I got to tell you an interesting story, and Gary can back this up. The very, very, very first stacking concept that we ever thought about, you know where it came from?
No idea.
Semantic
Mr. Marco?
mastery. Semantic mastery.
Brad and Marco. I
Yeah,
mean,
absolutely.
you mentioned a link wheel that indefinitely repeats. So it was like TM Gary. I think it was Gary that mentioned it. But yeah, link wheels still work. The concepts are there.
Right.
If you do an indefinite iframe, like a lot of the things that, you talked about on this webinar, those are the things that really power up an entity. And, that's what Google's looking for is a little bit of
Sure.
proof, but you don't have to show your clients all this stuff. Like I wouldn't show them a calendar. But you have branded properties. And if you take those branded properties,
Right.
i.e., any Google property that you can own, your YouTube, your G site, Blogger is another property, and link those in your calendar, that's going to do like, cooking with napalm. It just going to stick to #1. And, the proof's in the pudding. You just measure and rinse and repeat.
I think I like to use the word gorilla glue on steroids.
That's right.
I mean, it kind of works that way sometimes. Every now and then we get a bounce out, but I mean, literally, we did a test for our dental group, and we did 700 G sites, and 500 of them are ranked #1.
Yeah, and Google loves Google. It's never going to deem itself as spam, right? It's a love affair that's indefinitely, narcissistic, but it's one of the things that is going to continue to work today, tomorrow, and the next day.
No, absolutely. Well, thank you for popping on and sharing that with it. It's a great testimony to, doing the work, number one, and then following up and using all the various techniques, plus the other ones that you have. But I'm telling you, if you don't have Zista, dude, let me know. I'll send you a link and I'll put you in the room with them. I mean, if anybody wants you just to get in the room with Zista, send me a Skype chat and I'll put you in the room. He doesn't care because once you see it, it's amazing what this stuff does. It's awesome. And then we use all of our tools to do what we do with the G site to do to a Zista site. So it's pretty good stuff. So, all right, man. Thank you so much. Any last questions? Zista. Yeah, let me go find it for you. Zista.com. You can just do me a favor when you buy it. Just send him a note that said you bought it from Gary and I, because every now and then he'll throw a couple extra tokens or something in there for us. Nothing, but I'm telling you, this thing is awesome. It's so cool. Zista, ZIZTA.com. Okay. All right. Any last questions? Anything that we need to finish up on? Gary, what do you got? Anything?
I think we've covered a ton of stuff today, so
Okay.
watch the replay because there's so much information here. It may have to watch it a couple times to absorb everything.
Gary, put your Skype chat in there because mine's convoluted. Thanks,
Gary.Afron.
Gary.Afron is your Skype.
Yes.
Okay. There you go, guys. If you hear any issues on the purchase, anything that's not working, any of the codes are goofed up, my phone number is 443-787-6850. I put that on my webpage too, which is, I get calls all the time, so I'm not afraid to take calls. And I'm on Eastern time, usually from 11 a.m. till 3 a.m. every day, unless I'm not here. Lou, thank you so much, bud.
No
You rock
problem.
it.
Love being here.
You rock it. You rock it. Can you add that chat? Oh, hang on a minute. On the bottom right of the chat, you see 3 dots. Everybody see 3 dots?
I don't think everybody sees it.
Well, they should. And if you click on the 3 dots next to the word everyone, and then by the meme, by the smiley face to the right of it.
Oh, okay. So you can. I thought it was just for panelists.
No. So click on that and then hit save chat. And then that will save the entire, all the chat for the whole conversation for the whole webinar. In case you need to find something or look something up or have a question about something, okay? I think they are, Dennis. When I send the replay, I think it comes with the chat replay as well on the side. But I'll try to make sure that I do that for you. Kim, how are you doing? That's a name I haven't seen before. Kim, where are you from? Kim Kirsten. Oh, yeah. Nice to have you here. Did you have fun? Learn anything? Northern California. Okay, cool. Yes, sir. Awesome. Are you? Did you pick anything up? You're going to be part of the team, part of the group here, so we can have some fun. Already using it. Oh, you're a lifer. You're already in the mix, eh? Cool. Awesome. All right, guys. If there's nothing else, I'm going to let the other 75 people get on with it. We've been here for 2 hours and too long. 2 hours and too long, Lou.
That's fine.
All
I'm
right,
having a
guys.
ball.
All right. Thanks, everybody. I appreciate it. Gary appreciates you listening to him and sharing, you know, and let me just say, what you have seen is not all that there is. Okay, there is more to this than what you've seen, but it's enough. And Chris is always coming up with, hey, try this, hey, try that, hey, do this, hey, do that. And our imagery is off the charts that we create within the AI tool. It's insane. So he's really tweaked that in as well. So thank you guys. If I don't say goodbye, I'll keep talking forever. So ciao.
Bye.
I have to end.